So as we get started today, this video is divided into chapters. If you want to skip at any point, just look at the sliding bar underneath the plating window and you can see the chapters to skip ahead. Welcome back to the Crochet Chronicles, my friends over at yarnspirations.com, the Patons Sampler Afghan. We're working on the Pebble Stitch motif. You need 3 of these for this particular example. There are 14 different styles of motifs in this, and there's 3 of this. So without further ado, let's go look at this part of the pattern and let's determine what we're gonna do today. So as we go to look at this one here, we're gonna chain 26 to start. You'll be using a 5mm size H crochet hook today, and we're going to begin. And the multiple to do this pattern, if you want to do it anywhere else, it is multiples of 2 plus 2. Okay, and you will see that it's got beautiful texture to it. There is a repeat of 4 lines, and this particular one you just have to keep repeating the stitches 2 through 5, and then the motif will end up approximately 7 inches, and you need to finish on 3 or 5. So 3 or 5 is just a single crochet row. So that's where we're gonna finish in order to doing that today. So because the repeat is so easy on this, we also have the motif bordering edge that's been also linked in the video description for there, because you're gonna have to do that, and all of the motif borders are going to be the same. So without further ado, let's grab our yarn and let's begin this journey. So let's begin by starting a slip knot, and remember that never counts as 1, and we need to chain 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go all the way to 26 and meet me back here in just a moment. Let's begin on row number 1. So go second chain from the hook, so count back, so 1 and 2, turn it over and get the back hump of the chain, and it's the second one from the hook, so it's just single crochet into that one. Once you turn it over and get the back hump, the rest of the chain will stay turned over, and just continually go down your chain and single crochet on the back hump all the way back to the other side. So do this for row number 1. Coming all the way, just make sure that you single crochet all the way back to the last one and turn your work, and let's begin row number 2. Now rows number 2 and 4 are slightly different from each other, so it makes the pebbles actually be kind of like interlocking and not just straight up and down like a graph. So without further ado, let's begin, and we're going to chain up 1. This is row number 2, and single crochet into the very first one. So just come right into the first one and single crochet. Now in the next one you're going to treble here, so you're just gonna wrap the hook twice and then treble. So going in to the stitch, pull through, and then pull through 2, 2, and 2. Now the next one is a single crochet, and then you're gonna treble into the next one, and then you're going to treble as I said, and then single into the next one, and you're gonna do this all the way to the other side. What is this stitch also called as? Do you know? I'll leave it with you, and then I'll answer it later on in this video. So just continue to alternate between the trebles and singles all the way to the other side, and I'll see you then at the end of row number 2. Coming close to the end, I'm the second one, last one before the end. This is a treble, and then the very last stitch has to be a single. So that's just a matter of just keeping those counts, and everything works out beautifully. And when you turn it around, there is the texture right there. So let's move on to row number 3. Rows number 3 and 5 are identical to each other. So here's row number 3. You're just gonna chain up 1, and you're going to slam in a single crochet in every stitch going across. You will notice that when you get to these trebles, it's just a little bit behind, so if you need to just kind of tilt it forward to see the stitch, then it's right there. Okay, it kind of falls back. So have you figured out what the alternative name to this stitch combo is? Okay, I will leave it with you. So just single crochet all the way across row number 3. Coming all the way to the very last one, you're single crocheting all the way to the end, and then turning your work, and let's begin row number 4. So row number 4, so 2 and 4 we're always looking at the back side, and when we do this texturing it always has to be done on the back side, so the texture falls naturally to the front side of the work. So we're going to move on to row number 4. So when we look at the other side here, we notice that it was a single crochet and then the pebble stitch, so the treble, single and then treble. So what's gonna happen in row number 4 is that we're going to delay it by 1 stitch, and here's what I mean. So you're gonna chain 1, and you're going to single crochet in the first one and single crochet in the next one, and then the next one here is going to be the treble. So you're gonna wrap it twice and do your treble. And what this is doing is putting the treble exactly in between the other 2 points of the texture. So then you'll single the next and then treble the next. And the goal is that you're gonna go all the way across, but the last 2 stitches have to be a single crochet, and we'll get there in just a few moments. Okay, so when you turn it around you see that this texture now is in between the points of the other part. So please do this all the way across, and I'll see you close to the end. We'll just quickly review on how to finish. And this is row number 4. So I wanna show you a tip here before we get to the end. So the next one's a treble. What I did notice is that I had a screw up halfway through the middle point of doing the prototype of this, and so I wrapped in and I did a treble, and I came in and I was just so rushing that what happens is that I accidentally pull too far, and then I'm like, oops, I don't mean to do that, and then I kinda just back up a little bit. But do you notice how the 2 strands are crossed over like this? And then I would say, oh, okay, well whatever, I'll just finish it. And the problem is that it creates an imperfection in the front side of the work when you do that. So make sure that when you are doing these trebles you wanna make sure that you are just sequentially going into the loops as they appear. So don't allow those to cross over, just in case you get into a pickle like I am. So here I'm only worried about the last 2 stitches. So this is the treble, and keeping the count, I have 2 stitches left, and those are gonna be single crochet in each to finish. And then this just put the pebble stitch here in between. So let's move on to the final row of this, which is row number 5, and I'll tell you what the name of this stitch is if you haven't already guessed it. And finally for row number 5 you're gonna chain up 1, and you're going to slam in a single crochet into each. Again, those trebles are kind of just tilting backwards, so just lean it forward if you have to. As an experienced crocheter I don't need to do that, but you may have to. So the name of this stitch, the treble and the single crochet side by side like that, is also called a faux popcorn. So it's like a fake popcorn, and it gives you the popcorn look without all the hassles of a bauble. So to me this is actually more of a faux popcorn panel, but it's also known as the pebble stitch. So I'm gonna just go all the way across, and then you just have to repeat rows number 2 through 5 over and over and over. So you would have noticed in the instructions that we don't have a specific row number that you're going to finish on. So all you just need to do is just grab your tape measure, and it's also 18 centimeters for those that are in the metric system, but it's about 7 inches. So you want to get too close to doing that. So you want to finish so that the single crochet row is the closest to a 7-inch mark, and then that's where you're gonna finish. So you keep repeating rows number 2 through 5. Then once you have that done you're gonna fasten this off, and then you're gonna start the border, which is already in the first video of this entire series. So you're just going to apply your border to it, and I've already done it here, and you're just gonna go around, and in that particular video I show you the count for that, and then you're just gonna do 2 rounds of this, and then you can damp block it if you want to. This is sitting flat. I didn't block it, but it looks awesome, and so this would be the pebble stitch motif. So you just have to keep repeating over and over and over, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. So have a good one, and just make sure you make 3 of these for your sample, and that's it for today. Bye bye.